Hi folks, I'm going to tell you a hockey story. Yep, I was young, I was about 14, and we were playing the Provincial Playdowns in Brunswick, Canada, and something like your state championships in the US, and we were in the Provincial Playdowns, and we had to go to Moncton, which is 90 miles away from where I lived, and they had an arena called the Moncton Stadium. It was an old arena, it was big, and it had the only regulation size ice surface in New Brunswick for NHL size ice surface, which, we weren't used to playing in rinks that big. And it was cool, though. And we were playing, and the game was kind of wild, I guess. I don't remember, but I was captain, and at one point the referee called me down to the corner. He said, "Captain, come to the corner." And I went to the corner, and he said, "You have to go and tell your coach he's got a game misconduct, and he's thrown out of the game." And I looked at him, and I said, "Are you crazy? I'm not going over there. You want to go over there, you go." I said, "I don't recommend it." He looked at me, and he said, "Carry on, we'll play." So we played, and we must have won, but to get to our dressing rooms after the game, there was a lot of fans from the other team there, and there was a bunch of policemen, and I didn't know what was going on. Why would they call the police? Apparently they're after me. So maybe it was the last to know, but my teammates you had to go through the bleachers to get to this dressing room, so you had to go right through the fans to get there, and they were crowding up. And most of my teammates made it through, and I was the last one off with one coach in front of me and one coach behind me. These two coaches were athletes too, and played, senior ball, senior hockey, the top-notch sport. They're sports guys. And my Evans, one fan jumped right on the ice, and he come right for me. And my coach behind me, one punch, knocked him cold. There he was laying on the ice, out cold. And that kind of backed off the other 14 or 20 or 30, however many crazies were after me. Kind of backed them off a bit, because I had a hockey stick too, remember that. And we got through, and the police, they were going to arrest us all and take us to jail. And there was a city councillor there from Moncton. His name was Mr. Councillor Canning. His son, Randy Canning, played for Moncton. He was a player, good guy. And he went to the cops, and he said, "Look, I witnessed that whole thing. Those kids didn't have anything to do with that. It was the fans that did that. You let them go. In fact, give them a police escort out of town." Cop said, "Okay." And so we changed and got word we were going to get a police escort out of town. And I was walking out with my gear, and this little old man, he was no bigger than me, he come over at me, and he said, "Are you the captain?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I've been coming to the Moncton Stadium my whole life." I said, "Yeah." He said, "And I've seen 2 people score from center ice." I said, "Really?" He said, "The first one was John Belleville. He was playing for the Quebec Aces in the Quebec Senior League. The Montreal Canadiens were after him like crazy to go, but he was doing so well in Quebec. He didn't want to go to Montreal, but he did, and he did well there. And he said, the second one was you." I said, "Oh, wow." And I did. I scored one from center ice that night. I do remember that goal. And probably the first time I ever scored from center ice. And it was pretty nice, pretty cool. It really was. And Moncton Stadium, I'll tell you a side story about that. A few years later, the only day of the year that stadium was closed was Christmas Day. Yep. Every other day it was open. And it snowed on Christmas Day, heavy. And there was a lot of snow on the roof. And the roof caved in. And it killed no one. There was no one in there. Bye for now.